And we're back to another episode of Naik Bulu Tales. I'm Mo.
I am Fairil. Dude, we are, I can't get enough of these ghost stories.
Yeah.
And I get really excited when we get new guests.
Every guest is an exciting episode.
Because I'm just so curious to see, not to see, sorry, I'm just curious to hear the different stories, but more so how relatable and how much of these stories have in common with each other.
Yeah.
And a lot of the stories that have been told on our show, there's quite a bit of commonalities in between them, right?
The comments I love reading from our Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube, right? They share their stories, what happened to them, and some of them are just like heartbreaking, very tragic. Some like, oh my God, some of them are still going through whatever sihe, curse, so they're going through, and they just had to go through it, to find help on their own.
And you guys that have been commenting, keep commenting, and thanks for always supporting us and giving us insights and sharing your stories. So don't forget to subscribe as well, comment, like, of course, and also our socials, right?
Yeah, all our TikTok, Instagram.
Yeah, and we're always trying to explore and also do more, unique ways of telling the stories. And so we stuck to our. This is the
candles.
Our setting.
The setting, yes.
Different settings.
I like it. So it sets the mood. I think we're always trying to innovate with this show.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy? We're like a month and a half away from the new year.
Crazy.
I mean, we've been doing this for
a year and a half.
A year and a half. A year and a half ago, we were like, should we turn our pandemic ghost stories on live IG to a podcast? So
and we keep getting good guests.
Yes.
And our guest for today,
yes, you brought him. Yes,
is actually, so you guys will be happy to hear this. Our guest today was actually recommended by one of your favorite storytellers on Naik Bulu Tales, Tata. So without further ado, we would like to introduce Farhan, aka YB, aka Young Benar.
What's up, Farhan?
Hey guys, good to be here. So excited to be here. Been watching you guys for a while now.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, and Tata is one of the friends that I encountered, I think this year, on one of my live session. And she recommended you guys as well, as something to watch. So
hey, speaking of live sessions, why don't you just tell the audience a bit about what you do with your live sessions?
Right. So I speak Malay or
up to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So biasanya I do live session at night. So dekat TikTok buat live session. So through dalam live session tu, people will came in and tell their story.
Right. Okay.
So earlier of the part was me telling my story. So now it has been their platform to share theirs.
Oh, that's cool.
So diorang masuk and then they go up and then diorang share lah cerita diorang.
So this is they share their ghost stories lah.
Yeah.
So it's like kita.
Yeah, we checked them out and some of the stories are really freaky.
Yeah.
But I do love your comedic videos. I think my favorite one is the most viewed one, right? It's about the nyamuk.
Yeah.
That's an interesting story. The nyamuk kena bunuh. What about his family?
Hey, you guys got to check out his TikTok. Okay,
yes,
it's really fun content, and we're always here to help promote more horror lovers. So, but what's the TikTok?
It's Young spells as YUNG and then BENAR. So Young Benar.
Young Benar.
Yeah.
All right, Young Benar. All right, YB.
That's what they call me, the YB.
I like that. Let's just the whole time we're gonna call him YB.
Yeah. I mean, so excuse me. So you have stories for us?
I got two. Ada dua cerita yang saya nak ceritakan malam ni. So the first, both of them, dua-dua ni memang very personal to me. So the first one, masa tu umur dalam sekolah menengah. And then the second one when dalam masa belajar waktu diploma macam tu lah.
Okay.
So those two lah. So are we like straight away?
Hey man, let's
jump. The platform is yours.
Jump.
Okay. So the first story I was maybe 16, I think on the year 16 or 17. So this one weekend, so kita orang semua adik-beradik dalam, kita orang 5 orang. So we just watch television on the weekend, right? So my mom was like a primary school teacher. So every weekend dia akan gosok baju dia yang dia nak pakai for the next 5 days. So that's her routine. And then all of a sudden, masa tu semua orang tengah tengok TV and my mom was ironing her baju and all. Dan waktu tu saya ada bau busuk. Like at the living hall tu tiba-tiba bau busuk. So among these 5, hidung saya paling tajam lah, compare dengan 5 ni. So like everybody knows if I smell something, there is something.
Interesting.
So like I told my mom lah, macam mak, ada bau busuk kan, tapi tak tahu bau apa lah waktu tu, tapi memang bau busuk. So and then everybody picked up the scent, and then macam sokong macam cari mana bau busuk ni. But and I told my mom it's nearby. So but sebabkan tak jumpa apa-apa yang indicate benda busuk in that living hall, so everybody just matikan topik tu.
If you could describe busuk macam mana? Dia macam,
It's not like busuk, like really busuk, or it's not busuk bangkai.
Okay, yeah.
It's just busuk lah. It's just busuk.
Just one of those things when you
just something's not right.
Yeah.
You pass by, you're like, whoa.
It's not that something right, not right. Tapi dia macam bau yang you kata busuk siut. Tak tahulah bau badan ke apa ke waktu tu. But it was busuk at that time. And then so kita orang pun sambung je tengok TV waktu tu. And then my mom was ambil baju daripada bakul. So she had this basket where she put all the clothes. Dia tarik je salah satu baju daripada bakul tu, and what was in that shirt was tai. Like literally tai manusia.
Oh wow.
And it was dry, bro. It was already dry. So it was like it's been there a while.
Somebody dah letak dalam for a while.
It was there. It's been there a while. So tak ada orang tahu. And it was everybody panic, bro, waktu tu. Everybody was panic. And my mom terus macam like she was screaming, and like kita orang masa tu budak-budak lagi, and everybody like you at the moment. And plus you macam takut gila, macam mana boleh ada tai dalam baju tu.
Wow.
So
tai manusia
like,
just any tai.
You know it's a tai manusia. It's not like it's not like
shit.
Yeah, I mean so and then my mom macam cepat-cepat pergi ambil penyedut sampah, pergi ambil plastik sampah apa semua, nak kaut and then put it on the plastic bag. So I buat and then I terus pergi buang. So later that night my mom terus bagi tahu my dad. Dia pun cerita. Then my dad kata entah budak-budak ni ke apa ke, but it was not logic lah. I mean there were 3 boys, but we're not that stupid to macam berak dekat bakul baju bangga kan. So
kena sepak.
Yeah. So and the topic was kinda simmer down, and then tak ada continuation daripada situ. So okay, but a second time it happened. Second time happened. Yeah, but it was quite, maybe dalam gap tu I think 3-4 weeks macam tu. During that 3-4 weeks, there's a lot of item dalam rumah hilang. Our PlayStation 1, money, clothes. So those are item yang I ingat hilang. So the second incident tu jadi, it's also on weekend. Everybody was inside the house. My dad was ada juga waktu tu. So again I smell kind of the same smell, which is busuk, but it's similar on the first one. So I told my mom, cakap, mak, orang ada bau lagi ni, bau busuk, but it's not in the living hall. So I cakap dengan my mom, cakap, this one doesn't like, dia tak kuat macam sebelum ni, but it does have the smell lingering inside the house. So my mom kata, okay, you go find where is this bau came from. So I just tried to sniff it out from an area to an area. So living hall, toilet, master bedroom, apa semua. So it was kita orang dulu duduk quarters police. So my dad was a police, so it was not that big though. So I just cari. So compared to all the rooms, dekat bilik kakak I yang paling kuat waktu tu. Okay, so bilik kakak I ni dia memang tak adalah besar, kecil. So this is the bed, single bed, and over here is basically where we stack all the old clothes. So dekat bawah old clothes tu ada like a wooden box where my dad used to use it when he was a police hutan back then.
Okay.
So there's a black wooden box. So inside that box, it's where all he kept the uniform, the food ration, everything lah. So yang dia simpan as kenangan. So it was stacked. So sampai waktu I bau waktu tu paling kuat dekat bilik. And then I told mama like, Mam kat sini yang rasa paling kuat bau dia. Okay, then we punggah everything inside the bilik untuk cari. So waktu tu memang dah tahu lah, memang confirm benda ni lah. So cari tak jumpa. But the smell is still inside the room. So we decided to like, okay, then my mom kata, okay, apa yang tak ni lagi kan, yang tak punggah lagi. So dia kata, okay, let's open the box, the wooden box. So inside the wooden box there's the poop, guys. Like it's there.
Macam besar.
It's quite big lah. Like I don't know, like somebody kept it for a while and then dump it there.
Wow.
Yeah. And my dad was there, so he witnessed everything.
How big was the box?
The box, I think, was a bit smaller than this table though.
Okay.
So and then sebab dia letak barang-barang.
Macam a trunk, is it?
You know, like a treasure chest.
Yeah.
So you just like open it.
Got it.
But it's just flat square.
Got it. Yeah.
So dalam tu ada baju, uniform apa semua lah. But then when we open it, then there's the poop though. Like kalau you fikir logik, if somebody want to poop inside the wooden box, they have to like punggah everything on top of the box, buka and then berak.
Yeah.
That's what they need to do.
Tutup balik and put everything again.
So
That's
but
strange.
nothing was touched, bro. Nothing was touched. And so my dad waktu tu macam dah agak jam lah waktu tu, macam okay, this is something that he needs to take seriously.
Yeah.
So they'll call up some friends. So he got this one uncle lah. So this uncle bagi tahu dia later on the evening he will come to the house. So dia akan datang rumah dalam lepas asar macam tu. So eventually this uncle datang, and then the moment he stepped into the house, and he told my dad, I was the eldest son. So I was kind of macam paired with my dad in terms of being a man of the house.
Right.
So he said, okay, you come with me. So just take it on lah. Uncle tu datang, dia cakap, somebody has entered your house but you did not realise. Wow. So ada orang dah masuk dalam rumah you, tapi you sebenarnya tak tahu pun dia dah masuk.
Like a human being.
Human being.
Okay.
That's scarier.
Yeah.
That's even scarier.
So this person has entered your house without even you realising it. So my dad kata like, macam mana boleh macam tu. So my dad dia polis hutan, so he kinda heard or familiar with this creepy stuff, mystical stuff. So then this uncle said that this guy got a few ilmu, but he doesn't know what ilmu yet. So he needs to deep dive into it. So he went inside the house, dia masuk dalam rumah, dia check, he recite something. He go to every corner of the house just to check maybe something's there or anything. So he go every corner, and then once he finish up, and then he told my dad lah, dia bagi tahu, okay, this guy is not that far, he's really close.
That's so creepy.
He's really close. So and then he said that this guy maybe dia kata ada satu atau dua ilmu based on his punya findings lah. So ada satu atau dua ilmu, so not just one, dia kata, tapi dia rasa macam dua. So dia kata, okay, so what do we do now? Sekarang nak buat apa? And this uncle said, okay, sekarang apa yang kita kena buat, my dad have to go buy a list of items for this guy to use. So dia nak kena pagar rumah tu dulu, and then bersihkan. So bersihkan daripada anything that this guy has been using inside the house lah. So dia my dad beli a few items, and then he came back with the items, and then this uncle said to him again, just for precaution, there is some extra item that kena beli juga. So the item tu macam susah sikit nak cari dekat bandar, which is batang keladi. Batang keladi, I think it's quite rare for you to get it in bandar. Other than that was paku, serai, and then limau. So okay, So my dad pun pergi beli. He came back, and then masa tu rumah dah siap, dah pagar, dah bersih. So when my dad came back tu, dia bagi tahu, you duduk dengan saya sekejap. The guy, he will call the guy. Like he will call the guy.
Oh wow.
The guy will enter his body and speak.
Whoa. Really?
Yeah, because he said that the guy is not far, so he can call this guy, enter his body, and then speak through his body. So he did like a ritual. At that time, he did like a ritual, and then the guy came in, and he started to speak Indonesian. So apparently, dekat sebelah rumah kita orang waktu tu, there's a Duke Highway project.
Okay.
So so this fella that who commit this crime was one of the workers there.
One of the construction workers.
Yeah. So this is where we got all the teas. So he tells us everything. So basically, for you guys, maybe you guys are familiar with some of this ilmu. So I don't know. So maybe you guys can drop in the comment below. Basically, this guy, I mean, he speak Indonesian. Dia bagi tahu dia ada dua ilmu. Yang pertama, ilmu dia adalah untuk masuk ke dalam rumah melalui celah-celah laluan angin.
Wow.
That's the first one.
That's so interesting. The power of the wind.
So he can enter a person's, like say a place, just through the like air holes.
Yeah.
Ventilation.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So and then the second thing is like, and then my dad asked lah, okay, kau masuk dalam rumah tu, masuk lah, mungkin kau mengintai ke, you see things where it was placed, kat mana aku letak barang-barang ni ke apa ke kan. But then how you steal it? Because you have to be like physically there to take it. If you use like toyol or anything, then it was physically taken. You need to be there. So dia kata, in order for me to steal that items, untuk aku ambil barang-barang dalam rumah kau ni, aku kena berak dalam rumah kau. So that's how he entered the wooden box and pooped. And also on the basket. That's how he poops there. So once he poops inside your house, once dia dah berak dalam rumah korang, he will be able to enter in the house without orang realise he was there. So orang tak akan tahu dia masuk.
Wow. That is this. I am really like macam.
This is the first time I've heard this.
This is a very wow moment.
Yeah.
Very interesting. It's like yeah.
I mean, I'm hearing that. Lepas tu umur like 16-17. I was like, what the? Like, uncle, dude, you came all the way from Indonesia to earn decent income, and then you do this, man. And then like dalam masa yang sama, he was bragging, he was not afraid of God, dia tak takut Allah, dia tak takut Tuhan, and dia ada ilmu kebal and whatnot. So then my dad was saying that, okay, tak apa, if kau ada kebal tak apa, dia kata, and then my dad kata, aku nak kau pulangkan barang-barang yang kau dah ambil sekarang. Dia kata, that's when he became more bragging, dia tak takut Tuhan, dia tak takut Allah, apa semua, aku kebal, dia lalala. And then he vanished, he went out. So and then this uncle said, okay, tak apa, barang-barang yang bapa aku dah beli tadi tu, itu untuk dia pakai untuk patahkan ilmu kebal brother ni lah. So okay, so sampai uncle tu buat ritual, dia I mean he took this one baldi isi air, and then this batang keladi, it's stabbing inside the water. So after that, like dia kata, okay, tunggu dalam 5 ke 15 minit macam tu, kita tunggulah, dia tunggu dia datang ke tidak. So basically after dia patahkan ilmu kebal tu, this guy will come and return all these items lah.
Wow.
So kita pun tunggu waktu tu, tunggu sampai pukul I think was 6 something macam tu, somebody was knocking at the door. And he got this, when we opened the door, it's the guy, memang this Indonesian guy, back in those days they were like a duffel gaffil bag.
Okay, yeah. Okay,
like the balik kampung bag kan.
Yeah.
So bag yang orang balik kampung dulu, I mean you guys mungkin dah umur 30-an tahun lah bag tu kan. So it was like that bag. Inside that bag ada PlayStation kita orang, ada baju-baju seluar. Wow. But the money is all gone lah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So after that, he apologized and everything, and then my dad went to the project site and told the manager project site what happened and all. So this guy was sacked and sent back home or anything.
Okay, Job. Mama ni tak jauh from your house.
It was not that far.
Yeah.
So let's say this was the Ampayan at my house, right? So the highway construction was just over there.
Okay.
Yeah.
In order to communicate with him, his soul masuk your father's friend, and that's how they spoke.
Yeah, and that's how he spoke.
So this whole thing, in order for him to travel, actually it's almost like in order for him to be invisible, dia kena berak wherever dalam rumah, and then curi barang.
He can steal. Yeah, he can be there physically, like do whatever he wants. Yeah,
which is for the Indonesian man, it was easier to do that than break in the house and steal like that. You know, it sounded like this is what he was thinking. But one more thing, yang ingredients semua, yang apa, batang keladi. Where was all those paku yang lima? How did the guy needed that for?
So some of the items were used to pagar the rumah.
Okay, to pagar rumah. Okay,
so pagar the rumah, and also some of the items was used to so-called patahkan ilmu kebal this guy lah.
Interesting. Interesting. Okay.
It's. I am very surprised that he actually showed up to give all this stuff.
Yeah.
No, because your father was like, you better return it or else.
I mean, your dad was basically saying, okay, you think you're Kabbalah and stuff like that, and then they used the ilmu. I mean, they used to think to batalkan his.
Okay, so in detail, the dialogue was like this. So my dad said, okay, aku nak petang ni kau pulangkan balik barang-barang yang kau dah ambil ni. Kalau kau tak pulangkan, something will happen to you. You know, I mean, I could not say it in on mic, but something bad will happen to you.
Right.
So after the ilmu kebal was being diminished, then this guy came to the door.
He was scared lah.
Yeah, scared. Yeah. I mean, your dad's a cop. It's like, yes, Indonesian dude is like,
exactly.
The distance of me and his place, you know, like rumah kongsi that they do, right?
Yeah.
I can just yell.
Wow, it's that close.
It was that close, bro.
Wow.
It was that close. Yeah.
Malas dia nak curi masuk rumah kau. Malas gila babi.
Because my ampayan and my sister's room punya tingkap was facing the highway that they were doing. So it's like an easy way for him or any of the house. So
that's what he chose. It boggles my mind.
It is such a unique way of
stealing. Essentially, that's what he was
because
doing.
you hear those stories macam. I heard another story. I think was it through one of our friends. I can't remember, but the other story was when they pagar the place something when a thief or robber nak masuk nak curi barang kan, and then they did some pagar bila dia keluar, the robber tak tahu nak keluar kat mana. He keeps getting lost. Something like that, right?
Yeah.
Because
I witnessed that. Masa umur I think 5 or 6 years old. So back then my dad was a police hutan, so we stayed kat Johor waktu tu. So before we moved to KL, I think masa tu 5 tahun dah, almost 5 but not 5 yet, because I remember I had a celebration birthday in KL 5 years old. So before 5 years old, so we were staying at like a quarters, but it was like a more like landed house so it was like a long house. So all as the police hutan and the family will stay there. One incident happened. This guy was literally swimming at the middle of the living hall. Yeah.
He was like
swimming. There's two guys. So dua orang ni berenang macam dia orang macam berenang dekat tengah-tengah and while screaming.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a strong pagar.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So I mean, I witnessed that, but at that time I didn't know lah. So then when we had the conversation with my mom and then my siblings because only the first 3 was born in Johor, so only us 3 and my mom yang tahu cerita tu. So when we talk, and then that's when my mom told it back in details what happened. So the auntie tell her this and that. So yeah, it was pagar, and this thief was like swimming in the living hall.
Imagine they're trying to steal, suddenly water comes in.
They think they're in the water. Wow, it's
that is. I like that.
I do. I really like that too. It's like it's funny.
Maybe it's triggered, I don't know, hallucination or anything from the pagar. I don't know.
Yeah, because once you enter again and you do your deed, whatever it is, then you're not keluar balik dan susah kan.
it works. You know, the paga works.
And for the guy that is experiencing it, it's damn scary though.
Yeah, I bet.
It was damn scary, right?
They probably think they're literally in the water again.
Yeah. And then
about
they
to
was
drown.
like, where did all this came from? Like we were in a house just now, and then it's gonna be damn scary,
must
bro.
be, it's in their mind.
I said, but they know how to swim.
Yeah, and then
I don't think they were swimming well.
the pakcik of the owner of the house, the pakcik came, and then like tepuk at his back, tepuk, and then another guy tepuk. Only then they like clueless, like clueless,
What
like
just
really
happened,
clueless,
yeah.
And then pergi Cari bro, rumah polis bro.
Why did
all places, right? Rumah polis, you know.
Can they see the blue?
No, like police hutan. They know the reason. I think why the reason they broke in, because police hutan, when they go into hutan, it was like go 2 months,
Right.
3 months. So only
ingat.
the wife and kids are there.
Okay,
So they
faham.
might have scouted the house and see, okay, this timing.
Yeah.
So that's when the wife and kid came in, and then these two guys were swimming in the middle of the house. So
I would love to see that, dude.
All right, YB. So that was a very interesting.
yeah. I mean, I rarely share that stories to anyone. So
Thanks for sharing, man.
yeah. I thought that this time let me share it. So
It's a different vibe.
Yeah.
You know,
it's not that scary.
it's okay.
Yeah.
Not all our ghost stories, supernatural stories,
Like,
supposed to be
it's
scary.
mystic.
Mystical.
Yeah. So I told myself, it's not that scary, but I think there's an aspect for people to understand what could happen to you.
Absolutely, yeah. Macam,
It's
and then-
different.
and then we
different.
also like, this is another unique story, and people hear it, they'll be like, macam kita lah.
Yeah.
We're like,
Yeah. Actually, doing this video podcast is very educational for us.
yeah.
Same live session.
Right?
Yeah, same though. Same.
You just learn so much from what whoever you're speaking to.
Yeah.
It changes how you think. Like there was this one time I did a live session. I think it was the 3rd week kot. Minggu ketiga buat live. Like it was almost 1 a.m. Like all of a sudden there was this bunyi loceng.
Kat mana? In your house?
I don't know if it's inside or outside, but at that time masa tu like the viewers can also hear it.
Oh.
It's because my mic doesn't have like noise cancellation.
Right, yeah.
Right, you hear everything.
Yeah, so even though let's say I knock at this door, so I mean they will hear. So then, do you guys hear like bunyi loceng ke tak?
Mesti ada banyak komen.
So like everybody was like yes. So shit. Okay, and then I said okay, tak apa, cool dulu. Let's take 5 dulu. So I go take smoke and everything. Okay, kita start balik waktu tu. Like 3-4 minutes lepas tu, I heard it again. I was like, okay. I mean, I tell my viewers waktu tu lah. My neighbor is an Indian, but I've stayed here for almost 2 years. Aku tak pernah dengar neighbor aku
Guna loceng.
guna loceng at this time.
How did it sound? Loceng.
Like a small bell.
Like
Like a service bell.
Yeah,
like constantly.
It was ding 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 ding. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know.
Oh, all right.
But you're not the only one. All your viewers were.
Yeah, because
heard it.
the mic was like I said, they tak ada noise cancellation, so you could hear everything.
Tapi was it distracting when your guest telling the story?
No, nobody was on the box at that time. Tak ada
okay.
orang yang
I
waktu
see.
tu.
Faham.
So waktu tu dah habis ke apa tu.
Okay,
So I was about to close the session.
All right.
Yeah. But after that, so every time I wanted to start live, so bila dah live tu, so I can begitu. So everybody who's in this live, just recite something with me, and like just to protect yourself before you start anything.
We should take the notes.
Because I don't know. I mean, I think you guys
right.
might heard this because when you talk about it,
Yes.
it became closer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what they say. So I don't know if it's like how true is it.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
It's
I'm wrong.
It's
You're not
debatable, I guess. I mean, from the whole all this while doing this, because I live here, right? So all this while doing the stories here, we've had a few things that was a bit weird, but I think this the weirdest moment was I think 3-4 episodes ago, Ian's episode when he was the first person that told us, "Hey, can you tutup your curtain because he can see stuff."
But he remember Ken. He grew up with that. He was born with it.
So I was like, all these episodes we done, nobody has asked us to close the curtain, and he told us to close the curtain.
Like sometimes, I think it's a good 5 to 7 guests who can see or can feel, and they only tell us that day, that night. That where else we were talking to them, like, okay, that mezzanine that you came from the lobby, to going out that one stair, and then finally the first floor, kan? Dia ada nampak budak ada corner there.
So you have to go back down that way.
I mean, if it's a Buddha, okay, I'm fine.
Okay.
If it's a Buddha, but if it's an adult,
dan apa budak lah,
like a full size adult, then I might call the guy.
And then Adib, one of our guests, Adib, he was leaving, and he was just like, memang ada benda kat balcony. Like.
But so far I've never seen anything. It's just my experience. Like I've never seen it. So
it's a good thing. It's a good thing, bro.
I hope it's not.
But whatever it is, it's a good thing. Whatever people do, people say, you take it also with a grain of salt. But at the same time, you make sure you semangat sikit lah. So that you cannot be like macam, oh my God.
I mean, in the other day, Allah is the boss.
Yeah, exactly.
True. Right? True. So
gotta get the strength.
Some of our guests said these things are more scared of us than they are scared. And so
but you have a second story, right?
So ada cerita nombor 2.
Nombor 2.
So nombor 2 ni is a bit lengthy, but I'll try my best,
Take your time.
Okay, cool. So back in diploma days, so waktu ni belajar dekat Shah Alam lah. So waktu ni belajar dekat Shah Alam 2010-2012. So waktu tu we came back from internship. So the internship tu di tengah-tengah semester lah. So habis internship, then we came in. Cumanya waktu tu some of our former classmates, ada yang dah berhenti, ada yang sangkut paper, so cannot be in the same class anymore and whatnot. So it was me and another guy, which is my friend. So only us waktu tu lah. And then we were like, okay, kat mana kita nak duduk rumah sewa ni kan. So we ask around, but apparently semua dah banyak full rumah sewa, yang budak-budak lain semua. So yang my friend ni, dia kata okay, kawan dia ada kosong, so we can slot in 2 people lah. So okay, kita jumpa dekat kedai mamak. So we talk, we get to know each other apa semua, and then he said okay lah, kalau semua okay then kita proceed lah. So tanya lah rumah sewa dekat mana, and then berapa the rental. So dia kata landed property, so sewa at that time was 750. So for us it's cheap lah. 750 you divide by 9 people, so it's quite cheap,
Sounds good.
Then kita pindah barang apa semua. So the house was good. It was like in the middle, dalam taman perumahan, and in front of junction and everything, so it was okay. Up until the second month we stayed there. So that second month tu dah start banyak kejadian pelik yang berlaku dalam rumah tu lah.
Here we go.
So but before that, masa kita orang jumpa nak agree on the rumah sewa tu, so I asked lah, like, how do you guys did manage to get this house and everything. So dia kata dia orang duduk rumah ni daripada semester 2 lagi. So the internship was on semester 4. So they kind of let's say I'm the senior, you're the junior, right? So I bagi rumah tu dekat you for 1 semester, you stay, and then you go internship. And then I came in back and take the house from you.
Okay.
So diorang takkan terlepas lah rumah yang murah tu. So okay lah, dan kita pun okay lah, harga pun dah okay semua. We move in. Everything was normal. We had good time apa semua. But on the second month tu, it start small and then it became big. So the small things tu, they start dengan misplaced items. You put something here and then it was not there. It was somewhere else. And then luckily all the boys inside the house pembersih, so we don't have like hygiene issue inside the house. But every night there will be mangkuk pinggan dalam sinki. And it was not steamed. Pinggan bangkuk tak kotor pun, but it was going to be inside the sinki.
So someone just
someone just put there. So like of course kita orang macam tanya among each other like tak ada kerja langsung. Tak ada kerja langsung. Like you take it from the rack and then you just put it in the sinki and then you just let it there. So like kita orang, I mean we put up a sign on the sinki tu like whoever did this, your mom and your dad is an animal with the 2 finger.
Okay.
So we did that, like just making a statement.
Yalah.
So but it's still happening. So up to a point it stopped. So bila dah berhenti benda tu, dia pergi ke benda lain. It plays with like the switches. I don't know, some of the boys was like somebody put their blanket. They were scratching on the door. So scratching on the door waktu tu, like everybody was staying KL Selangor. So Jumaat diorang balik. So one of this guy, dia buat macam part time lah. So hujung minggu dia akan berniaga jual air. The air balang kan. So dia niaga jual air dekat weekend lah. Then I told this guy. So at that time my parents on the way on divorce. So kita orang I was looking for something that can support me lah financially. So I told this guy, can I join you? Boleh aku join kau nak jual air ke apa ke kan? Macam you just pay me by hour, I don't mind. So dia kata okay boleh lah, jom lah. So me and him didn't go back that week. So just us inside the house. So the house was a double story lah. And then this guy was playing Dota. And it's almost maghrib at that time. So tentu I tengah main zaman-zaman Blackberry waktu tu. So just WhatsApp apa-apa. And all of a sudden I heard like scratching sound on the door. The door was plywood lah, the cheap plywood door. And then the normal steel tombol pintu tu. So like somebody was scratching. And then I tepuk kaki ni, sini. Like lepas tu dia buka headset and kata, Azal, kau dengar bunyi tu? Saya cakap bunyi apa kan? Cakap ada benda yang cakar tu kat pintu. Cakap bodoh kau, biar betul siut. Macam cakap takkan aku nak tipu sial, cakap kan. Then dia kata macam tak ada pun. So when he about to like put on the headphones back, it became louder. Like it was like really deep
scratches
in the door.
Oh shit.
Like he was like what the fuck ni. Like both of us didn't know what to do. Like we freaked out and then like we screamed like, "Woi, siapa tu?" And then it stopped. We like it took us a while, and he went AFK on Dota, and then like I think dalam 15-20 minit macam tu, lepas benda tu dah tak ada bunyi, like we opened the door, there were like
scratch marks. Oh, interesting.
And it was like 5 lines.
That's a hand. That's a hand.
And we snap a picture. So kita ambil gambar dan send dekat dalam group BBM waktu tu, dalam group budak rumah lah, group BBM tu. And I mean everybody was like freaking out.
There's 9 of you, right? 9 people living.
Yeah, but at that time there was 2. So everybody lives in Seram, so live nearby. So they balik. So kita orang tu macam okay, pergi ikut. So kita orang keluar makan malam tu apa semua. And then we expect something happen at that night, but alhamdulillah there was nothing. And then there's this one time during the day. So every Monday, so me and my friend tu, kita dua orang ni satu course. So the others was mechanical student. So every Monday our class will start by 2 PM. Me and this guy. So we'll be at the house from the morning until pukul 1 macam tu, ada kat rumah lah. So this Monday kita orang semayang dekat hall atas, semayang Zuhur normal, ambil wudu, semayang dan nak start semayang tu. And the first takbir, Allahu Akbar, we heard like going upstairs.
Jeez.
I told you like that time I rasa macam fuck. Tapi tengah semayang tapi I terus tutup mata. And I start reciting Alhamdulillah Ar-Rahmanir-Rahim. We're going down.
Oh my goodness.
My heart was racing, bro.
Yeah.
My heart was racing. I mean, like, the only thing I can think of, like, the dude at my back, still there, don't run, bro.
Yeah.
If you run, man, this would be chaos. Sumpah chaos kalau kau lari ni kan. Like, don't run. Lepas tu, and then, my eyes was dah tutup lah waktu ni. Memang dah tak pandang, because in front of me was a tangga, bro. In front of me was a tangga.
Okay.
So, and then I continued, and then I think rakaat ketiga, masa tu tengah sujud, bro. And then this thing came up. And then all of a sudden, my friend at the back, like, he reaches to my leg, like he was holding it. You know, like really grabbing it, you know. I was like, fuck this guy. Like, the sujud was very long, bro. The sujud was very long. I have already reciting it, but the sujud was very long. I just said, no, nothing gonna happen. Because you're gonna be like, you know, you're gonna be face up after this.
Yeah.
You know, you're gonna be face up after this. So it was me thinking the entire situation, like, what can happen?
Oh man.
Like, okay, and then I just, you know, when he was holding my leg, so I pun bangun, Allahu Akbar. My eyes was closed. I swear to God, my eyes was closed. So Allahu Akbar, I bangun, and then I heard my friend pun bangun. And then we finished the prayer. Dah selesai solat Zuhur. My friend terus macam ambil sejadah tu, terus lari masuk bilik, because we live in the master bedroom. So master bedroom tu sebelah je. So dia terus masuk, and I pun macam cepat angkat sejadah tu masuk dalam bilik lah. And then he closed the door. I was like, like he was swearing all the way. And then I asking like, what happened? Kau tak dengar ke bunyi tangga macam ni? Takkan aku tak dengar. Aku imam kat depan, tangga tu depan aku. Takkan aku tak dengar. Dia asal aku tak lari je. Aku tunggu kau lari kan. Lepas tu aku tunggu kau lari macam. Okay. And then I tanya dia lah, okay, kenapa kau pegang kaki aku waktu tu? Kenapa maksud aku tentu dah cuak gila mat waktu tu kau pegang kaki kau. Tak mahal ke apa ke kan? Like, if there's something, you should like pegang kaki aku, kau goncang lah ke apa kan. Then I know it's something like emergency, you know, you just like pegang. And then waktu tu he told me that waktu tu when he was like standing, like somebody was hugging his leg.
Oh no.
Shit, I mean, every time I tell this story, it gives me like,
you know what? Ni masa solat actually. Sorry to interject, but when my grandma dulu tinggalkan Bentung, my arwah grandfather was a DO in Pahang,
Bentung,
district officer. So my grandma is a revert, Chinese Singaporean.
Okay.
But the kuat Semayang.
Okay.
But this is the house my mom grew up.
Okay.
My mom and her two brothers. During solat is when it's the most powerful when they were attacking my grandma. They cekik my grandma. Then she's the baca ayat dia. And she cekik same time. But yeah, so somebody is hugging your friend.
Yeah.
Hugging the leg.
You're hugging the leg of your friend.
But okay, so when you guys sujud, that's when he grabbed your leg lah. But it wasn't hugging his leg at that time lah.
No, when he's standing. So because when he's standing, I mean, when we were both standing, so I'm in front, right? So he cannot like reach out to me like this, you know. So he has to wait like until sujud. Then that's when the closest between of us. So then I asked her like, so tangan budak kecil ke tangan orang besar kan? And he said it was like an adult hand. It wasn't an adult hand. It was not like budak punya tangan. It was like tangan orang besar guys. Like peluk kaki kau tunggu semayang. Like, you know, it was I don't have words. Like, every time I tell this story, I memang akan I don't know, man. It was just, it takes you back in that situation, and you kind of really feel it. You just can't let it go just like that though. So one of the incident is that and then kita orang terus macam siap-siap, and then terus pergi kelas that day. So on that day juga kita orang beritahu the other boys, you know, before you guys head home, let's meet up at Mama because we got something to tell you, and it's really big lah. So we met at Mama at petang tu, and we told them about this, and he said, okay, this is getting out of hand, you know, like, because for us, when you do stuff at the house, you know what, fuck you do it. But if you start to touching us, that's a different level of contact. So we said, okay, let's find some, cari alternatif lain yang kita boleh, keluarkan benda ni ke, usir benda ni ke, just try to get it go away. So we did like baca Yasin first and everything. So but it didn't go away. So in short, so it was just like maybe 1 or 2 days, and then
came back.
Some things happened again after that. So we sorted out. Kita minta daripada orang yang luar lah. So I just asked my lecturer. So I tanya tentu sebab my lecturer tu dia memang orang situ lah. So dia memang tinggal situ dah agak lama. Dan I tanya dia lah, puan ada tak kenal siapa-siapa yang boleh berubat ataupun boleh tengok benda ni ke apa ke. I told her everything lah. So she said, okay, I ask my husband first lah, nanti I give you a number or anything lah. I update. Okay. So the day I met my lecturer tu and then tell her everything, so she told me somebody will contact me ke apa. At that night, the whole taman went blackout. Nothing weird. Something moving?
That was upstairs.
Okay.
No, but it sounded like it was in here.
No, it was upstairs.
Okay.
It's quite
timing
loud.
was just nice.
Okay.
The timing was just nice.
The perfect timing. Yeah, you. I was like,
I also
I thought it was M, but then I was like, he wasn't moving.
Man, no, it is. They do it quite loud upstairs.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the day I jumpa my lecturer tu, so malam tu the whole taman blackout. Okay, blackout normal. So kita orang decided to everybody untuk tidur dekat ruang tamu. So rumah bujang, ruang tamu tak ada perabot, tak ada apa. So the lantai tu semua tiles. So sejuk lah.
Yeah.
So we all lie down there macam okay, baring, letak bantal semua and then tidur.
All 9 of you guys.
Yeah, all night. All night.
Slumber party.
9 dudes.
So, and then when semua tidur macam biasa, up until this one time, so one of my housemates, dia ni kaki pancing. So barang-barang pancing dia semua dia letak dekat bawah tangga lah, joran, dia punya toolbox apa semua. And then when we were sleeping, dekat bawah tangga tu of course lah gelap lah, so semua lampu tutup waktu tu. So we heard like somebody opened up the toolbox.
Wow.
Like tang. And then waktu tu tak tahulah, mungkin ada yang dah dengar ke apa ke, we didn't know. So we thought like okay lah, semua macam tak ada orang respon ni kan, so macam okay lah. And then somebody throw like a, we call it batu ladung, so like the small steel stone to weight your butt.
The line.
So this person, orang ni like baling batu tu ke arah kita orang like
Oh my god, it's just toying with you guys.
So like nobody respond.
Yeah.
Nobody respond.
Nobody say anything.
Yeah. So like, and then the second time this thing throw, like second time dia baling ke arah orang lain pula.
Oh my god.
Dia baling. And then this guy was like, sial lah, tem ni kau nak main. Dah lah panas, blackout, lain hari lah. Cakap lain hari. When he said lain hari, like the joran that was like placed down there, once that happened, like we heard a female voice who was saying, kau nak jumpa siapa?
What?
Like at that time like everybody terus macam bangun terus ambil macam like kunci kereta, kunci motor semua, like everybody ran outside the house. Semua orang keluar bro waktu tu. Like mamai pukul, aku tak tahu waktu tu pukul berapa. Like everybody's looking inside the house macam what the fuck just happened, sial. And then we were like macam trying to digest everything. Like okay, now what do we do? Bayanglah okay, boxer keluar rumah pukul maybe 3 AM, I don't know.
Yeah.
We were like dengan 9 orang kat luar. It's not a good picture, man. So like muka clueless, mamai semua kan, like
Apa hal orang kan?
So
Party mana?
So kita orang macam okay lah, tapi kita duduk depan pos tu. Okay, then now we think what do we do now? Okay, sekarang kita kena masuk rumah ni, ambil baju untuk pergi kelas besok, toiletries, tuala apa semua, we gotta sleep somewhere else. So this guy made some phone calls to other friends, and then okay lah, boleh datang. Luckily diorang tak tidur lagi waktu tu. So kita orang terus lari ni atas tu, masuk baju-baju dalam beg semua, terus turun bawah, and then we chow. Besok tu I got a call from this uncle. I'm not gonna reveal his name. So this I call him, let's say Uncle Lan lah. So Uncle Lan. So this Uncle Lan call me. I said, okay, ni Uncle Lan ni kan, Puan so and so begitu ada kena gangguan apa. Betul cik, kena gangguan apa semua. Okay, nanti maghrib jumpa pakcik kat rumah lah. Then I told him like, sekarang tak boleh kan? Sekarang tak boleh kan ke? Tak boleh, Uncle dia dah ada janji dengan orang lain lah. Maghrib nanti jumpa. Dia memang datang kat surau tu every maghrib lah. Macam nanti jumpa kat surau maghrib nanti. Tapi macam okay, faham betul. Then I just round up the boys, and then said like, we got a delay, and then kalau semua macam cuak lagi nak balik, lepak je lah surau ramai kan sampai jumpa uncle tu kan. So in the assumption of uncle tu akan datang malam tu juga, like we were hoping, right? So maghrib tunggu dengan baju kelas apa semua tak tukar lagi semua kan. Pergi kat surau tu tunggu dah azan maghrib tu. Then kita tanya like pakcik-pakcik tu, kenal tak uncle Lan apa semua, uncle Lan dah sampai ke? Cakap ada sekejap dia sampai, dia mesti datang. Okay. So eventually uncle Lan datang. Aku pun introduce myself apa semua. So cakap, okay uncle, kita ada benda ni, and it had been going on for several months, and baru-baru ni memang kita orang dah rasa ni like this is way off. So uncle Lan beritahu, okay, uncle boleh datang tapi besok lah. Guys, if you were in that situation, you were expecting like
that night juga,
we need urgent help.
We need to go back home.
We need urgent help. So and then everybody was trying to macam, okay, tolong Uncle Lan, tolong Uncle Lan, this we cannot just. And then he told us this: the more you guys are afraid, the more this thing will like to kacau you guys.
So let me get this straight. He came to meet you at Margaret at the masjid, surau, and he said, I can only help you tomorrow.
Yeah, because lepas maghrib tu, he gotta go somewhere else to berubat also. Dia dah janji dengan orang.
Oh, so memang in his mind he just nak jumpa korang dulu, not to help yet. Or
no, because he usually goes to that surau to pray maghrib anyway.
Correct. Oh, but memang
at the phone conversation, I didn't tell him like details.
Right, so he didn't know you really needed help now.
So when we told him, dia kata boleh uncle boleh datang, but besok baru boleh lah. Dalam lepas asar macam tu. So okay lah, still siang, so okay lah, fine. And then malam tu pun kita orang tidur rumah member juga, dan tak tidur situ. We just lepas isyak tu, lepas maghrib kita terus balik ambil barang-barang for the second night tu, and then tumpang tidur rumah orang lain. So the next day bila Uncle Lan sampai, so kita orang pun dah sampai kat rumah. So Uncle Lan was in front of the gate. So this was the gate, and Uncle Lan berdiri dekat depan ni, and he was like tenung straight to our master bedroom. I was like 2-3 minutes there. So at first we thought, is it inside our room? Like nothing did happen except for like there were door slamming. There were door slamming, like all four. Dalam master bedroom tu ada 4 orang, termasuk I lah. So dalam master bedroom tu, there is one time kan, pintu plywood yang murah tu, and then tombol yang standard. So somebody pulas tombol tu and then open the door, and then one of my friend ni, dia kata macam, bodoh, siapa ambil pintu ni? You are betul. And then the door was like like that was the only incident inside the master bedroom. And then the second time incident was I was in the toilet master bedroom tu, like I heard footsteps, like wet footsteps. Rumah lama kan lantai kayu yang macam bunuh stacker tu kan. So I heard like footsteps. So nobody was at home at that time.
You were alone.
Yeah, because so everybody lives in KL Selangor. So bila hari Ahad nak balik, so I was the first one to reach. At that time, masa tu dah berlaku insiden-insiden ni. So I don't want to go in first alone. But at that time nature calls, bro. So I like, if nak pergi mama dah jauh, nak pergi Petronas ke apa, malah nak pusing ni macam. And I go in, buka semua lampu, go straight to toilet. So the phone was with me lah. And all of a sudden dalam tengah-tengah buang air besar tu, I heard wet footsteps inside the room.
Oh
So
my
I just
God.
and then I text inside the BB, anybody dah sampai ke apa ke kan? No, semua tengah on the way ni, semua tengah on the way lagi semua kan. But I heard footsteps though inside the room. And then like one of my friend call lah, dia cakap macam nak bagi ni sikit, nak bagi berani sikit ni. Betul tak? Bodoh, aku dengar saya ada footstep kat dalam ni kan. Macam tak apa, tantang macam perompak ke apa ke, kita tak tahu. Kau stay dalam tu, kau stay, jangan keluar. Dia kata aku tekan minyak kat highway ni kan. Cakap okay, apa pun drive safe. Aku stay lah dalam toilet ni. And then I heard the footstep was like going around.
Wow,
inside
non-stop.
Yeah, going around inside the room.
That's scary.
And then I heard the door slam, and then no longer footstep sound. And then like a few minutes after that, one of my guy friend they came dah sampai. So back to Uncle Lan's story, dia dah sampai and he was like staring at our master bedroom tu like 2-3 minutes, and then he said that dah berapa lama korang duduk rumah ni. And then like I told her macam saya dengan kawan saya ni baru like maybe 4 months duduk sini kan, tapi yang lain ni sebelum ni pun memang dah duduk sini. Lepas tu dia kata, sebelum ni masa korang duduk ada gangguan macam ni tak? Dia kata tak ada. Then macam ni boleh ada tiba-tiba ada gangguan? Dia kata tak tahu lah, sebab sebelum kita orang keluar internship tu, kita orang handover rumah ni dekat satu geng budak perempuan ni. So diorang basically diorang SEM 3 finishing up that semester, and then they go out for internship, kita orang masuk balik lah. So that's the plan. So kita okay, tak apalah, dia kata kan, kita masuk dulu. So masuk, bila masuk dekat pintu tu, dia tenung ke dapur. Dia tenung ke dapur tu agak lama. And then kita orang macam tak tahu apa nak buat waktu tu kan. Macam kita orang kat belakang waktu tu, kita orang macam tak tahu nak buat apa, dah follow
all nine guys in the back.
follow uncle tu. And then dia kata okay, korang ada tak dawai, like dawai yang korang boleh like really long and then do a hook at the end. So macam dia kata ada lah yang barang-barang toolbox kat bawah tangga tadi tu. So kata okay, tak apa, macam kita naik atas dulu lah. So uncle ni pun naik atas, kita orang follow lah. Ya, tak nak atas. Kata kat sini ini berat ni, dia kata ni. Dia kata kat sini berat. Saya ada hall atas. So kat sini berat, dia kata. So dia kata buka semua pintu, buka semua tingkap apa semua buka, dia kata kan. So we did lah, kita orang buka semua pintu, tingkap apa semua. And then dia masuk toilet, common area. Dia masuk toilet, and then dia keluar, dia masuk master bedroom, and then dia masuk toilet, and then dia keluar. And then he said that okay, bagi bacik dawai tu yang tu kan. So kawan kita orang pun balik lah, buat like pusingan lawai tu, and then do a hook at the end. So bagi dekat pakcik tu lah. Pakcik tu kata ada this one skinny friend. So dia bagi dawai tu kat mamat ni. So dia kata kau pergi buka water trap tu. So buka water trap tu, masukkan dawai tu, try tarik tengok apa yang keluar.
Oh my goodness.
So macam this guy buatlah, dia buka water trap tu, dia congkil, and then like something that he pulled out was basically a pad.
A what?
A pad. Like like tuala wanita.
Oh, a pad.
Right. Like a pad, and it still have blood stains on it.
Wow.
And then
a pad.
Yeah. So this uncle was like, ni lah dia punya makanan selama ni. And it was like one toilet, okay, and then we go to the master bedroom toilet, same shit.
Wow.
Same shit. And then the most surprising, there are some used pads was under the mattress, bro. Under the mattress.
That is disgusting.
Are we saying these girls that were staying in the house?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. That was like under the mattress. It was like dried out, but it was used.
Ladies, come on, ladies.
Yeah. It was literally
these girls. My God, why lah?
Oh
yeah, that's not
okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we was so surprised at that time. Of course, being guys, waktu tu kita orang macam kalau masuk rumah tu pun pasang cadar tilau pun tak adalah macam kita orang nak kena terbalik kan, katil lawa semua.
Betul.
Kan. It was like a simple way of living.
Yeah.
So bila uncle kata terbalik kan, when we found one, Then Uncle An like quickly said like, terbalikkan semua tilam yang dalam rumah ni. Like there were like other tilam, maybe I think there were 3 tilams. Under that tilam there was used pad.
That is disgusting.
Yeah. And then every time I tell this story right, aku tak boleh korang. Tiap kali aku cerita dalam live ke apa ke, kalau aku cerita yang ni, memang aku sendiri akan macam goosebumps. So ladies out there, biar muka dah cantik kan, jaga hygiene lah, yeah, so it cause bad things to other people.
So you think you're saying these used pads attracted?
It was their food. Yeah, it was there all along, bro. It was there all along, and we didn't know. Yeah. So after that, after dah macam clear all the used pads tu, we put in dalam beg basi hitam and then we throw it out. But Uncle An kata jangan buang dalam tong sampah hijau depan tu, go throw it far away. So the thing will eventually follow that smell.
So tapi tak bau. Nine of you didn't smell anything.
We didn't smell anything, bro. It wasn't the water trap, so that's where.
But the ones underneath the mattress, tak bau.
It was dried out. There was nothing unless kalau dia basah, contoh macam you kencing on kencing on tilam, then it will bau.
Yeah. Wow.
So I don't know why these girls put it under the mattress. Even us guys, we don't throw underwear under the mattress, bro. Up to that extent.
So I mean, not all girls, but these girls were not responsible.
Yeah,
these
so
girls.
It was an experience to go through what was caused by other people that has left that space. And kita orang pun baru kenal diorang, and maybe everything that has happened ada hikmah. So we kinda bond really tight when those things happen. Those things, and then we're still friends up to this day.
Nice.
And lepas habis Uncle An punya session tu, and he told us like after this, korang tontong duit kan, beli nasi bungkus ke apa ke, panggil kawan-kawan, buat doa selamat kecil-kecil kat rumah, and then bagi makan tu kat orang lah. And then that was it lah. And then after that, kenduri doa selamat kita orang buat tu, nothing was there, everything was good up until we grad.
Wow. So how many years did you stay there? After that?
It was the whole semester.
Oh, the whole semester, right.
It was 5 and 6, so 1 year. Yeah.
Wow.
So that's the end of story 2.
Is it possible the girls did that on purpose to prank whoever is going to stay there next?
I mean, Wallahu Alam, I'm not sure, because I mean, I didn't know them in person.
Right.
Neither do this guy. Maybe, I don't know, maybe he got siblings, ex-girlfriend or girlfriend, but I don't think it's girlfriend, ex-girlfriend thing. It's more just like acquaintance that, okay, you guys need a house, I'm going out, and this is a good price house, you go in, take care of it for us. When we came back, you give us back. That was the arrangement. All I know. So
I mean, honestly, common sense, logic, used pad, buang lah. Used pad
under the bed.
Okay, down on the water trap, I don't understand. But under the mattress.
Yeah, that was.
Ni tak pergi sekolah ni.
That was F up, bro. Like I said, even the guys, we didn't throw anything under mattress.
I know.
Yeah, so.
But I know, but to think about that way, if someone,
man,
how many girls stayed there before?
I'm not sure. I think maybe around our numbers
around
yeah.
But like to think
because
that
the house ada 4 bilik.
Maybe 1 or 2 did that. The rest.
But I mean, to speculate a bit, right? Just to speculate, you have those pads in a drainage, one, and then under beds constantly, right? So there could be a possibility that one girl was not being hygienic, that it attracted this thing, and maybe they found out that this thing, they didn't know how to get rid of this thing, so they found out that this, they're like, oh, what do we do? And maybe that thing, because that thing spoke in the ruang tamu downstairs, kan? Maybe that thing spoke to them and said, I need your blood, you give me your blood, I tak kacau you. Who knows, right? There's a possibility.
I like that. That's very interesting.
And then they, of course, and then I don't know, like if you think
halfway when you tell that, I was thinking like, Diorang nak chow dah pun, so
Correct. They don't care.
Right. They were there for like just one semester, like 6 months.
Yes, correct.
And probably they were too scared to even get rid of it. They're like, I just need to chow. I'll chow. It's the next person's problem, you know.
Nak pandai
Don't do that, guys. When you move or you stay somewhere,
don't do that.
Keep it clean. But
so you're saying these girls, okay, speculation-wise, they were keeping this at bay by feeding
I
it.
think maybe because they were just really, they didn't know how to handle the fear. So maybe this thing was kind of much speaking to them, saying, okay, I will disturb you less if you feed me.
Possibly, because maybe these girls, yeah, you're right. Maybe these girls are macam dia orang takut and nobody will tak percaya dia orang kot.
But why under the mattress though? If you want to feed it, you know, just.
Okay, I mean that one I'm not sure.
That one is
hard to say why under the mattress. Unless it was the hantu that letak dalam under the mattress. Dah habis lah. I'm done with it.
Boleh jadi.
Boleh? It's another
We're just
possibility.
speculating. Guys, what do you think?
But
They also don't know where is it. Right?
But at the end of the day, it could just be these are dirty ass girls. Just kidding.
Or just one of them out of the 9 dirty ass girls.
But
one girl.
Ooh, man. Hey, you guys, what you guys think about this story?
Yes, let us know. I mean, this is all you university students. You know, let us know if this happened to you or this is a legend, urban legend.
Yeah. Or maybe you guys have experienced it dalam rumah sewa korang.
Never. That's true.
Why is it always a rumah sewa?
Because it's not permanent.
It's not permanent.
It's not permanent.
I'm in and out.
But I love the fact that this, say, let's call it a hantu, was we never found out where it came from and what it is. We don't even know what it is.
Yeah. You know,
which I like the way that it was kind of like the story is your experience.
Yeah.
You and the night.
We were lucky not to see.
Yeah. But the fact you heard it said kau nak jumpa siapa.
Yeah.
Kau nak jumpa siapa.
That was sorry. Just to recap a bit. Remind me when that thing said that to you guys. Was it before or after you talked to the
lecturer?
The lecturer, yeah.
Yeah, after.
After, yeah. Okay, got it. Yeah. So that means that they already knew that girl, that spirit already knew, like
conversation happened.
Yeah. Kau nak jumpa siapa? Oh, right. Yeah. Shoot.
The boys didn't know actually at that time. So when we came out, like all 9 of us, then like we were asking like, why did she say that? You know, like
why did she say that?
So then I told okay, I got this one uncle. I told my lecturer, and Brody was like, fuck bro, you should have tell us. I mean, I'm about to tell you, but it went blackout, bro. You know, like it went blackout. Like okay lah, like tomorrow lah, cerita. And then I didn't expect she gonna like pop up there tonight and literally ask us this question. So
so you distinctly heard that voice too.
Yeah.
All nine of them heard it.
Wow. Well, YB, thank you so much for telling your story, bro.
Welcome, very much welcome.
Amazing.
It was.
I love those 2 stories. They're very engaged.
Yeah, man. It's some comedic elements to it too.
No, I do because the situation was hilarious.
Can't help it though.
It's so funny.
Kena kacau siang. Kena kacau siang.
That's amazing. That's crazy. Well, guys, if you guys have any comments about this story, about YB's story, but you have your own story, you know, give it to us. Comment down low. If anything, thank you for always supporting our channel. You know, we really appreciate it.
Yeah, and definitely check out YB's TikTok. It's good. We are following. Yeah. So check out his stories with his guest and some. Yeah, he's a funny guy too. Yeah, you check out his comedic posts.
Yeah, let's help each other grow.
Yeah,
you know, because we are all, you know, just wanting to share stories. And again, thank you for coming here. You know,
it's pleasure is all mine.
If anything, we look forward to sharing you guys our other stories on the next episodes. But for now, my name is Fairil.
And I'm Mo.
And this is
Yang Benar.
YB.
And we'll see you guys on another episode of
Naik Bulu Tales. Ciao, guys.
Peace out.